Okay, well, that was cool. I had a good plan. I had a good thing I wanted to talk about. I said, hey, this will be a great way to start the show off, and then I'll roll into my intro like I always do. And had it at 0 seconds, still had it. Hit record, I don't have it. It's gone because my brain is a broken boomerang. I threw it, didn't come back. I don't remember. So that's cool. That's cool. It's like right there. It's right there. It's still right there. And I'm trying to trick myself into believing that it's okay and saying, oh, if you can't remember it, it's probably just not that important. But it is. It is. It's important to me. And I don't know. You know when you think you like forget a song or something, some crap like that, and you're like, okay, well, let me just type in, fancy pants. And then you find out that it's a song, right? You figure out what it is eventually. I don't have a search engine for my brain. So the thoughts are gone. The thoughts are gone. And that's what I get for making plans, dude. Because life went like this. Because I tried to make plans. I thought, because you don't make plans. It's laughing at me. So I'm upset a little bit. But that's okay. Who cares? Let's just roll right into the intro instead. Because plans are for fools. We live off our feet. Whatever that means. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That's a little custom vibrato right there. You just beating on my chest like King Kong, King Kong. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 7 of Full Circus. I'm trying to make the show. I don't know why Full Circus. It makes me think of a dirt bike. Nitro Circus, maybe that old show. I don't even know if they still do that anymore. But it's really not. It's not a dirt bike show. As you could tell probably from the intro, it's a very carnival. It's a carnivale. It's supposed to be silly, but I keep in my head. I go Full Circus. And someone hit a little guitar riff, like someone. That's what I need. Someone behind me every time I say, "Welcome to Full Circus," and this guy goes, "Wow!" I'm like, "Oh yeah." They should hire that. There should be people out there that just do that everywhere. You should be able to hire somebody who just carries around his little amp and just shreds to everything. Because honestly, good or bad, guitar riffs are just magical. Shred across. It's just like you're shredding across the frets. So you don't have to. Hey, don't fret. Everything's going to be okay. You break some bad news to somebody and maybe not even pull someone out, but if you just played the guitar, just, hey, sorry, but it looks like your house burned down. Just break it any news. Sorry, Timmy, I'm breaking up with you. Kids, can you come in here for a minute? I'm sorry to tell you, but we're getting a divorce. And they'd be like, dang, that sucks, but holy crap, look at mom and dad go. So sad they're not together anymore. But anyways, like really, a guitar riff would be magical. You could put that in any situation. Good or bad. I think it works really in both situations. I think music is just something that we should do. It's kind of like the but for, emotional news. I don't know what the triangle could be good for. It's like probably one of the instruments that you can't use. You could like a trombone, womp, 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 or something like that. A piano, you could play some blues, some honky-tonk, or a harmonica. But a triangle, they don't really give you much. There's not much to There's not much to work with. I don't know what kind of situation you could really use that for. It's kind of just lackluster in a way. Sir, here's your car. Sir, it's like a valet. It just brings your car up. Here's your car. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but it's not really much. All right, that's going to be $24.87 for all your groceries. It's really just the sound of money. Just the triangle is a sad little noise. It's kind of the sound of you losing money. So if it's a sad situation, like, hey, You just lost $3,000 gambling, but the guitar just wins out. It's a good sound. I'm sure you could use the triangle somewhere. I don't know where you would use it, but it's gonna take some more thought to really dive into that. What was I talking about? How did I get here? Full Circus, episode 7. Hey, welcome back. I know 100% that it is episode 7 this time because I checked beforehand, and it's also not, past midnight. It's not late. I'm doing this at a responsible, very responsible time. What's been going on? What's been going on in the world, you ask? Is that what you just said? Huh? Okay, you want to hear about it, do you? Well, I don't know how exciting it is, but we got a new dog. And her name is, insert name here, because we don't know. My mom's really trying to figure out a beautiful, wonderful name for this canine, and it's tricky. It is. Like I said, I think I said exactly that when I was making the podcast, when I came up with this new podcast name. I was like, it's really hard because it's kind of like naming a dog. It's hard to come up with a name that you're going to have to say over and over and over and over again. Like if I made the show, if I accidentally came up with something bad like wet farts, if I had to say, hey, welcome back to Wet Farts every single episode, you probably might not like that. Or you would. It kind of has it's kind of unique. But again, that's more of a creativity problem on my end. Got so much of it. Oh, actually, you want to know something interesting? I saw an article or a post or whatever it was. I don't remember when I saw it, but it said that if you brush your teeth with your left hand and do some more things with your left hand, if you are a dominant right-hand person and a submissive, weak loser left-hand person, use your left hand more because it activates the opposite side of your composure. It activates the opposite side of your brain, and you kind of just it activates more creativity, I guess is what they were saying. You can see more clearly now. So I started brushing my teeth left-handed. Been doing it for like a week now, and I got to tell you, the only thing I'm seeing more clearly is a uncoordinated idiot in front of me. Have you ever tried brushing your teeth with the opposite hand? It's not easy. You look like you just gained mobility back in your arm. It looks so dumb. And I've like punched myself in the face with the toothbrush a couple times because I'm a fast brusher. I don't like to waste too much time. Yeah, it's not easy. I feel so pathetically doing it, and maybe my creativity's through the roof. I don't know. Remains to be seen, but my credibility and my self-respect has gone down. That's okay. It is what it is. What else has been going on? Oh, I'll tell you what. Luck has not been on my side. Some people have an angel on their shoulder. Some people have a devil. I have like a little tiny dumpster wizard who's just conjuring up trash for my life at many different turns. This started a little bit ago. This was all in the span of like 2 or 3 days. And it was coming right off a high, right? When something really great or just beneficial happens out of nowhere and you go, yeah, let the smiles just rain down on me. And that's what happened. I was doing an order for DoorDash, and I'm going to try not to say that usually, but maybe this time it'll happen. That's okay. Not the point. So I was doing an order. It was for like $20 or something. And it was for this guy named Megan, I presume. It could have been his wife's name. I don't know. He looked like a Megan. Could have been a Megan. So Megan came up and picked the order himself. He's like, yeah, my son wanted to get something, so we drove over here anyways. And yeah, you're good. Well, that's how he approached me at first. I was like, yeah, I got a DoorDash for Megan. I'm looking for Megan's order. And this big older guy comes up. He's like, hey, you're good. I'm like, hey, thanks, man. You're not so bad yourself. He's like, no, you're good. Like the tip, everything. I came up. I got the food. You can have it. Go. I'm like, oh, sweet. So I just marked it. I got it. And I made $20 for literally doing nothing. And I was like, dang, that's awesome. So immediately after, everything just weird things just started to happen. Back and forth. So immediately, Dang it, I don't like saying the same word twice when I say immediately, and then I come back and I recycle the same words. I don't like that, so I'm not going to say immediately. I'm going to say, shortly thereafter, my father asked me to go and pick up a drywall sander for him that he was buying off this guy. Now, drywall sander it does exactly that. That's not the point of the story. It stands drywall. So I drive there. I go all the way there. It's a long way. I'm getting lost. He's giving me the wrong address. I'm going back and forth. The guy's not showing me. And it just starts getting bad. It's like a long, weird journey of wasting time. We're wasting time back and forth. And I finally find it. I pull into the driveway, and this big 6'6" guy walks right out, and he sounds like Ray Romano, or Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog here. That wasn't that good, but I'll work on it. Don't worry. So anyways, he like surprises me. So I'm pulling in. I'm like, okay, this is the house, and I'm checking my GPS to text my dad. I'm like, okay, I'm here, and he's like waiting right outside the freaking window. Like you look at the and he's like, hey, you want a drywall sander? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So what I typically do is bring my keys with me every time because of the door to my car is very tricky. You get locked out. But he surprised me. He's like, so I immediately instead gave him the money right away. Wasn't paying attention, left the keys in the car. So I get up, we get the drywall sander, very fast exchange. I walk back to the car, keys are in there, door's closed, it's locked. Great. So then Ray comes right behind me and he's like, I don't know, is it locked? And I'm like, yeah, it sucks. And he's like, okay, don't worry. He tells me he's got some stuff. I don't know this guy. I don't know. We don't really have any connection, but he seems like a friendly dude, and he seems like maybe he knows maybe he can get back in there. I start requesting like maybe just a metal hanger because that's what we've used before to get into this thing because it's not the first time. And I don't know why I'm making this story longer than it needs to be, but the point is it starts raining, and I'm still locked in a stranger's driveway, and I don't know if he's going to get us back in. But eventually, you know what? You know what Ray Romano does? You know what he does? He freaking steps up and he saves the day. And he pries the door open, and then we work as a team. And he's like trying to pick the lock, and I'm like, hey, the keys are right there. If you could probably just grab them at this point, because he'd pried the door about halfway open. Just brute strength. So good for him. The guy was super nice guy. Super nice. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I would get another drywall sander from him if I could. But so anyways, we get in the keys, and anyways, it was just a long thing. It was a longer process than I just told, but I'm trying to move on to the next thing. So, not immediately, not thereafter. Following that, I went back to dashing. And then my tire went flat. It popped. So, I was in the middle of a hot streak, or what was about to be a hot streak. Missed it all. Tire went flat. It was cool. It was fine. It was whatever. Finally fixed the tire. Go home. Come back the next day to go right back to that same Chipotle where me and Megan exchanged words. And I get an order, and I didn't know that the bag was soaking or something. So I pick it up off the thing, and it all blows out the bottom of the bag. This is supposed to be a quick order, supposed to be something. It turns into about an hour and a half of me waiting because they have to remake the order because it blows out all over the floor. Banana, pineapple juice, glass shattered. Everybody just like there's about 30 people in there. They all look at me and I'm like, oh my gosh, come on. And then at this point, the other dashers, I'm like, dude, that sucks, huh? And they kind of like want to walk away from me because they don't want to be standing next because it's just like, the embarrassing kid, I guess. So I'm like, okay, well, that's, I'm like, I'm sorry. And everyone was looking at me, and then I thought maybe I should keep apologizing. So I said, instead, I was like, no, I'm proud of it. So I puffed my chest out, and I said, clean it up. No, I didn't. I said, I'm sorry, that's my bad. And they're like, no, it was ours. We put it in. Like, this never happened before. I was like, yeah, me neither. That sucks. Like, yeah, we'll get that right back to you. They didn't, but it's cool. It's awesome. And then I get the order, and then I go to the apartment building, and apartment buildings, you gotta have a code in usually to get in. And this guy's not answering his phone. This guy's not letting me in. the guys didn't leave a code. There's no way for me to get into this thing. So now I pull out my wallet, and it's one of these doors that you can kind of pick it with a credit card. Because it wasn't like one of these main doors I'm using the side. And so I'm here. I'm so close to getting this thing. I'm sliding. Like, oh yeah, here we go. This is gonna be a good story. And instead, the guy finally gets the message. I guess after 25 minutes, he walks out and bumps the door open into my face. I'm just like on my knees with the floor, drop the food and the card. And then it's just like, kind of, what are you doing, man? And so anyways, that's been my 3-day awesome pursuit that's been going on super well. But it is what it is, dude. It just really, it happens. It happens. Does it happen? I don't know. It might happen. But I'm due for a big thing now. I'm due for something lucky to happen to me. I don't know what that is, but I gotta believe it's out there. How long are we into the podcast? 16 minutes. I wrote down all those things, and I said I won't extend the stories, but instead I shortened them too far. Should have really stretched it out. What else has been going on? I always say what's else? What else is going on? What else? What else is here? I tried some LaCroix stuff recently, or bubbly, or whatever it's called. You know, that's the freaking flavored water. I don't know why that's such a big craze. I don't like it. Okay? I don't like it. Either be the thing or don't be the thing. You know what I mean? Like, why is it gotta smell and you feel like you're tasting, you know, this sweet raspberry, whatever it says. Yeah, it's bad. Like, I just, you know, just have water. Just have carbonated water. Why make it, like, why have that taunt? It's like you climb up the roller coaster. It's like, oh, here we go. And then it just doesn't go down. It's like, okay, and that's the end. You just finally got back to your destination. That was just it. It's so, I don't like it. I don't know how that's been such a big thing for so long now. And it's just really sad. And the most humorous, you know, they even have to put 0% juice on the back. I want juice. I don't want that. And I don't know why people want to have that little bit of flavor of something, so you just kind of think you're getting something, but you're not. You don't get anything. The smell's not good enough. That's like sniffing a cheeseburger and then biting an apple. It's just not right. It's not right. If I wanted, I regretted it immediately after, but I wasn't going to be wasteful, so I had the rest of it. Very displeased. I just don't get it. I don't get the craze with it. Like, why not just have straight carbonated water? Why make it smell like that? And why not just have juice? I mean, I guess maybe you don't want juice, but juice is great. That's not the point. The point of the story is don't try and play both sides. Flavored water, it's not flavored water. It's just smelly water. Smelly water is really just talking out both sides of its mouth. It's disgusting. It's better. You might as well, like, you could water your plants with it, and it would die. Because the plants would be like, they would start to grow for a second, like, oh, wow, this is better than water. Oh, yeah, this is gross. And they wouldn't even want to be around anymore. It's horrible. But to each their own, I guess. Some people just have weird taste. Some people are just weird by default. And that's some of you people. And that's not to say I'm not weird. I've got my own things. You know, I don't like pineapple on pizza or whatever. You know, I'm not a criminal, but I'm certainly weird. Uh-oh, there's that dog. I mentioned the dog in the podcast, right? That dog's barking, and she's not a soft pitter-patter. She's definitely not a... She's a heavy. She's a Hulk. She's a Hulk in the game. The Hulk is running, and maybe that would be a great name for her. She's a beast, straight like a pound dog. You would think would maybe be like a little malnourished, see some more bones or something, but she's literally shredded to the bone like she does CrossFit or something every day. Am I intimidated? Why did you say that? Yes. No, I am. I don't know how we're going to discipline the dog. Straight up. Honestly. The dog could eat everybody alive. You know, how do you discipline the Hulk? Right? Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? I've never been a parent. What happens as a parent? Let's say you're a scrawny guy. You're small, and your kid's 6'8", and he looks like the Hulk, and he's only 8. Like, how do you do that? I know, the world's wide. It's big. I'm getting lightheaded. I don't know what just happened. uh, someone's had to have had that situation. Someone's figured it out, I'm sure. But like, it's gotta be pretty difficult, and that's kind of what we're dealing with right now. It's like, let's say I'm 4'8", I'm the dad. I've never lifted a weight before, and my son's 8 years old, and he can't even fit through the door, and he's huge, and he looks like he belongs in the WWE. How do you say? He's like, hey, Dad, I want macaroni for lunch. And he's like, no, sorry, son, we can't do that. You had macaroni for breakfast, so we're gonna try and have some broccoli and maybe have. What did you say? And he like freaking lifts him up by the neck and like, how do you? And then you go, no, son, you gotta, how do you discipline something like that? How am I supposed to discipline this dog? How am I supposed to, if you piss on the carpet, I say, no, it goes, and I go, no, just kidding. You do that. I'll pee on the carpet with you. Let's do it. This is what we do. You're in charge. But I don't know. She's a sweet dog though. I don't think she would, but you gotta be a little worried. You gotta be a little careful with that. How long are we into the podcast? We just hit over the 20-minute mark, which means if you run out of news, you've run out of things I want to talk about. See, my whole thing, I had a good plan. I had a good plan for this whole show. Honestly, I did. It all went out the window the second the first thing. It's like a snowball effect, but like the snow kept picking up the other snow. It's the true, not just going downhill, but just keeps collecting, but like stealing. It's like it's just stealing all my good things. All my good things are gone. But that means that you get to rely on weird and interesting news. So, put on my announcer. An Italian hospital worker has been accused of skipping work for 15 years. Yes, you heard that right. It's not a typo. It's not a mistake. It's been a decade and a half. And this man has not showed up to work one single time. He has collected over 500,000 euros. Euros, more like you're owing us money. Also, it says he's allegedly been doing this. How do they not know? So, let me give you a little backstory and honestly give myself it because I don't know. This man was reportedly paid 500,000 euros since 2005, even though he has not been attending work in this hospital in southern Italy. He has been skipping work despite receiving full pay. 67 years old. The Italian media is described, he's like a criminal, but like he's got like a cool name. The Italian media is now describing him as the king of absentees. That's kind of cool, actually. It's not really the most awesome. You're definitely not a superhero. You just don't show up anywhere. So it's not super hard to accomplish, but for a decade and a half and also to somehow keep getting paid, I got a feeling there's more than meets the eye. Because how do you not know that? Like different people, there's always a rotation of, managers and everything else that goes into a hospital. People leave, people come, transfers, whatever. Did no one ever ask, like, hey, can we meet the guy, that works on floor 2? Where's he at? I've been here for 8 years, and I still don't know who I'm paying. He is now being investigated for fraud, extortion, and abuse of office. Okay. Seems right. That seems fair. Still don't know how it's allegedly. 6 managers at the hospital, okay, this explains something now, are also under investigation in connection with his alleged absenteeism. That's a word I didn't know existed. The man is again alleged. He is alleged to have threatened the hospital director to stop her from taking disciplinary measures against him, according to police. He's 67 years old, and he's threatening her to don't go to the police. Don't take discipline against me. Discipline should be the worst. Not the worst. Should be the least of your worries. Should not be the worst. Oh, please don't fire me. I'll show up. I promise. This has probably been happening for a long time. So the director knew, and he's already been threatening her. And I guess she finally went. 15 years. She finally had enough. That director then retired, and his absence went undetected by her successor. Okay. So there was a different hospital director. wow, this just goes way deeper. See, this is why I got to read the whole thing beforehand. You don't want a live reading. So the guy threatened the hospital director, do not take disciplinary measures against me. Please. So she didn't. She said, you know what? Don't show up to work. We'll keep paying you. So then she retires, and her successor comes in, and undetected. The arrests are the result of a police investigation into absenteeism and suspected fraud in the public sector. That's how it ends? I gotta know what happens to this guy. What? He just skips for 15 years and they say he's under investigation? Allegedly? But then the one director came out and said, yeah, he was skipping, but I couldn't make him go to work, so I said, hey, I'll just keep paying you. But he also threatened her, so that's pretty tricky. What do you do? And 15 years ago, the guy's still 52 at that point. Probably still, he's going to be kicking around. He probably could do some damage. You never know. These Italians are feisty. Is that a meatball? I don't even know what to say about that. That's just how it ends. Guy skips work for 15 years. He's under investigation. Good for him. I don't know what's going to happen to him, but that was super interesting. And again, I would be laughing a lot if I was someone who could laugh outside. I only laugh inside. But anyways, this has been Full Circus. I'm sorry I'm kind of off my toes. That head rush, whatever just happened to me a little bit ago, I was just kind of standing back and forth. It's probably because I have my knees locked. And it just is what it is. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in for episode 7 of Full Circus. Next episode, I swear to you, but not really, because I wouldn't break my promise on accident. I am going to try, though, to get all this foam up here. And maybe it'll sound better. And maybe I won't lock my knees out. Maybe I'll be more comfortable. But I got to keep wearing all this freaking gear because I don't want to step in the urine that's upstairs because there's dogs everywhere. And I won't. It's gross. But anyways, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. You're the best. You're awesome. I'll see you in episode 8. And by the way, actually, no, I'll explain the next one. I'm out. Peace.